Hello everybody, my name's Swicey and welcome to my channel. Today, I'm going to be talking to you guys about how you can build your 3v3 arena teams the best they can possibly be. Now, right now I'm only in Gold 1, but I could climb higher, and that's what I plan to do in this coming reset. But I generally stay pretty safe within Gold and don't really dip below. And that's really because my teams synergize so incredibly well with each other and make a lot of sense, and people get caught off guard by them. So, I'm going to be showing you guys how you can do the same with your accounts. Now, if we head on over to just my basic roster, this is where we're going to start on any account we get on. Your account, my account, your friend's account, whoever it is, this is where you start. You look at your champions, you decide, hey, I like this person for arena, and let's say that person's going to be, well, Narcisse. Narcisse, amazing nuker for arena, one of the best in the game. And obviously, I'm not going to bring Newt into arena because he's not supposed to be there. Another thing would be, yeah, I want Arbiter in my teams, but no, I don't want Pinthroy. It's just those very, very basic decisions that you make at the very beginning before you even think, hey, I need to get those teams built. You just inherently know some of these champions are for arena and some of them are not. Make those decisions, decide who is going to work for you, and then we can head on over to the actual team building aspect. But before we get there, there's a few things I should mention. One, some champions that you don't initially think could be used in Arena can be. One example of that would be my Varl. Now, yes, my Varl is in amazing gear, and that's why he can be used in Arena, because of how good his gear is. If your best gear is on somebody like Ninja, your Ninja can come into Arena. It's not like champions like this can't. Especially damage dealers. A lot of them, Mishinaki being one of the better ones, really, they can come from Hydra being the best Hydra DPS, then going to Arena, and sure, they might not be the best on paper, but heck, they can do a lot of damage. Now, the next thing is your gear in general. You need to know where your gear is, how good your gear is, what the strengths are, what the weaknesses are. So on my account, I have a lot of good DPS gear. I have a lot of champions in Savage or Instinct or whatever the set might be, but I don't have the best, let's say, pinpoint gear right now. So I'm not going to be building teams based on having pinpoint gear. I won't be focusing bombs. Bombs, you basically need pinpoint gear. Ramatsu, he needs pinpoint gear pretty bad, but for the time being, he's okay. Now, other things to look at, what accessories do you have? Will you be able to finish off your build with your stone skin that you need, your protection, your slayer for that extra 5% crit rate, or whatever it is? Are you able to do that? And those are all important things to keep in mind before we get to the first part of the team building process. So if we head on over to Arena, and we're going to ignore my actual teams for a minute. We're going to go ahead and use, oh man, I don't have, okay, we're going to knock that one out. We're just going to use these 3 slots right here. So I'm going to choose one champion that stands out as I absolutely need them in a team. There's no way I can't do this without them in a team. It just won't work. It wouldn't make sense. And for me, that first champion is going to be Armand's. Armand's is arguably the best arena champ in the game. The amount of control he brings is parallel to none. He is the most oppressive champion in all of Arena, at least in my opinion. So I'm bringing him in here. I know, hey, I have some really good, fast, high accuracy gear, and Stone Skin is readily available to me. Now, for the next team, alright, I already have 1 speed. Am I able to bring together another speed team? For me personally, yes I am. So I'm going to bring in a second speed team. Now, on paper, I could for sure throw in a 3rd speed team, but I don't need that, and I think it's better for me to just improve these speed teams here, and then make a go second team over here. Now, I'm already going to be using my very strong speed in both of these, so I shouldn't stretch it out and continue on trying to use speed in this last team, a go second team is probably going to be the best option. Now, for me, I've had extremely high win rates and things and success with Wukong as the main component in any Go Second team I've ever used. I think Wukong is one of the best Go Second champs in all of Raid, and one that definitely shouldn't be overlooked on anybody's account. Now, I know that this is going to be a go second team, and I know UDK synergizes insanely well with Wukong. So I'm going to go ahead and throw him in there immediately. UDK is going to make it to where Wukong's passive can proc over and over and over again. Because UDK is never taking turns, the enemy team is taking a bunch of turns, and so Wukong's just going to get revived over and over and allows him to come back from the dead constantly. Now for this team here, we already have speed, so I could either go with speed again because Armand's usually isn't the fastest champion within the team, or I could go, let's say, increase accuracy or any of the different ways to improve Armand's, because right now we only have him. We could throw any nuker in there, but it wouldn't make too much sense without a buffer of some sort or something similar. So for me personally, Padrig is going to be the best champion for this slot. I think he's fantastic. I think he's he's in my opinion the best speed booster outside of, let's say, maybe I guess Sify has a very valid argument, and I think Kaja has a good argument. Freya has a good argument. There's a lot of really good speed champions. He's my personal favorite, and the fact that he buffs any nuker makes him that much better. Now, for the other speed team here, I actually have a second Armands. So we're going to be doing something similar with both of these teams. Now, if you don't have a second Armands, look at what you have. Armands is going to bring Speed Disrupt along with my Speed Champion for me to be able to cut in or just stall their team out. So a great option would be Tormin or even Basher. You could also say maybe, I don't know who the best would be in the epic selection. Well, Vogoth is solid for just taking a beating, so he could go into this go second team. Adchak is okay for AoE crowd control. Cornelia could probably do some stuff. Miscreated could probably do some stuff. Yeah, so really anybody with AoE crowd control is fantastic. Actually, now that I think about it, Loki would be a fantastic option. So if you don't have Armands, I know you have Loki. Choose Loki. He's amazing and a champion I'm going to be maxing very soon and going to start using in a lot of different teams so I can get more accustomed to him. One last champion I want to call out here, and one that is definitely very underrated, and one nobody, I don't think I've ever heard talk about, is Tramaria. Now, obviously it's a Void Legendary, so a lot of people won't have her, but if you have her, don't underrate her. She is amazing for PvP in one of these slots. Encounters sleep, which usually isn't the best thing, but keeping in mind that we have Mikage, we have Kaimar, we have Sify, three very oppressive champions with sleep debuffs, and then she also gets to, she's immune to the sleep, and then she'll go ahead and get to remove all of those debuffs, increasing the turn meter fill by an extra 10% for every crowd control she removes. And then let's say you're moving a sleep off of each of your teammates, that's going to be an extra 30% turn meter boost, so that's going to be 45%, and then fills the turn meter of each ally by a further 5% for any other debuff. Let's say you got debuffed by a let's say a Tramaria, a Tunisia, that's an extra 5% on each of your teammates. Could be upwards of an extra 10% on each of your teammates. So you could be getting almost a full turn meter boost off of this ability in the perfect scenario. But she really is amazing, and she has this AoE stun that has a 100% chance to land, and she, well, okay, 100% chance to land the stun debuff, and then after attacking, a 100% chance of decreasing the turn meter by 30% on each enemy without a stun. On a 4 turn, a very strong ability, and just somebody I think should be talked about a bit more, and I might actually do a video on her soon, because she's great. She just isn't booked on my account right now. So we've talked a lot about options for speed disruptors. Let's get into who is going to be doing our damage in these teams. So for me in this team, I am going to be picking the king and the queen duo because one, the king is going to be bringing some damage. Obviously, he's also going to be bringing the chance of block revive, which is fantastic. He's also going to be helping Ancora synergize better with everybody else on this team, and what she's going to do is she's going to take the any of the stuns or anything that we receive off of Narcisse. She's also then going to be just immune to them. She's then going to be able to remove all of those debuffs, boost our turn meter, fills our turn meter by 10%, also places a strengthen and a shield. So altogether, this team works amazing. You can do really anything with these champions, put them in any team, but I think these four together are a top tier combo. This is actually my siege defense right here, and I've used this a handful of times to win. We've won all of our sieges so far, and I think it has a 17-1 win rate right now. So won 17 times, lost once, which is really amazing. Now for this second team, we need a nuker, and we really need to decide who that nuker is before we move on to the last champion, because we already have our speed, and our speed, who is going to fill in best here? For me, I believe Foley or Rhodos would do this best because they're both champions that have the chance to block revive or really just take on a team by themselves. With Foley, he would take on a team by himself by block reviving all the nukers, then just leaving the supports left. With Rhodos, he just has some of the best solo potential in all of the game in Arena. So I'm going to bring in Rhodos, and now we got to look, what is this team missing? We have control, we have buff removal, we have stuns, we have turn meter control. What do we need? Rhodos alone can do all the damage we could possibly ask for. So at this point, you could say, hey, let's bring in one extra support, maybe somebody to just help stall them out. A UDK would be a great option. But what really synergizes with this team, in my opinion, would be a Ramattu, a Countess Lix, any of these champions that really take down the other team's potential. Countess Lix is actually a fantastic mythic counter by bringing this block active skills. She can synergize well with Armand's. He's going to strip their buffs when placing the sheep, and then she can place the block active skills afterwards to make it to where the enemy team cannot place any of, well, can't metamorph any of their mythic champions. I personally will be choosing Ramatsu in this situation because Ramatsu is going to be blocking actives and passives based off of what the enemy team has. So let's say there's a Rhodos on the enemy team. I block the passive, then my Rhodos can go in and one-shot their Rhodos. When otherwise I couldn't do that. This team just works really well together, and I find synergy there in the ways that everything is just falling into place, and in an actual fight, you'll see that there isn't really any room for error, unless you get locked out or whatever it may be. And then finally, for this team, we are looking at we need a reviver just to help stall out the enemy team, and we preferably would like one more damage dealer. For me, that is going to be Queen Eva as the damage dealer, because Queen Eva is just fantastic, an amazing champion, one of my favorite nukers because of this A2 right here. Double hitter, ignores 50% defense, extra 15% chance of critting, block revive on a 3-turn. It's amazing, it hits insanely hard, and you'll see that when we actually showcase the teams. And then I have a really, really well built Duchess. So we're going to put her in the second place because that's where the sheep is. Overall, this team synergizes through stalling out the enemy team and the actual builds on the champions. So let's go ahead and head on over, check out the builds, and talk about how they actually work well together. So looking at the actual builds themselves, let's go ahead and see how these teams synergize. So with our first team here, these first four champions, let's take a look. So Padrig is going to be just very fast. That is his only goal, is he's at 400 speed right now. Okay HP, okay defense, just a little bit of resistance. He's fully booked with Phantom Touch, and that's for Fire Knight. And then these are his masteries, but I do recommend getting lasting gifts. And I need to do that like right now actually. So I will be putting lasting gifts on him just to make him better in all PvP situations, even PvE situations. I do think that would help out everywhere. I didn't realize I didn't have him done. So grab lasting gifts on him. That's probably the most important mastery on him actually, is lasting gifts, but it's whatever. Then we have Armand's. So Armand's is in Stone Skin. Having him in Stone Skin, and her in Stone Skin all together really, really help in just making sure that we don't get screwed over and cut in by an Armand's. So an enemy Armand's could only stun our Padrig, and by then he's probably already taken a turn. And then with all of them being in Stone Skin, he can really only sheep one of them. It'll probably be Narcisse. Then our Armands can go ahead, take a turn, and sheep, turn meter, steal, stun, and then sheep one of their champions. Then Narcisse being in Stone Skin just goes along with what I was saying about Armands, making sure that they can't really steal our turn meter. Then our Ancora also in Stone Skin. I don't want her to die, so she isn't that fast, but she has very high resistance to try to resist the lockout champions that come out at us. So if our Narcisse dies, we can actually go ahead and revive him and reset his cooldowns. We could reset anybody's cooldowns that die, as long as she doesn't get locked out. Then we have our Go Second team. We have Wukong and Stone Skin, Duchess and Bolster and Reaction, Eva and Stone Skin, and UDK in Stone Skin. So having Sun Wukong in Stone Skin allows him to actually take a turn, because a lot of times when you're fighting with Wukong, he'll just get killed over and over and over, which is nice because eventually he'll take a turn most likely. But one of the issues that you'll find sometimes that you'll never get a turn, and just putting the Stone Skin on him allows him to guarantee himself a turn and continue on the fight, and possibly just team wipe in one hit with this A2 right here. He has on my account, he has 5-turn polymorph, and I do not 5-turn, 5-star polymorph, and I do think that Nature's Wrath is the better option. But this is just what I have right now, and then these are the masteries that I'm going with. Then we have the Duchess. Duchess has kind of been countered by Narcisse. So I just went in and said, hey, he's already kind of countering Duchess. Why not go full into it and just give her bolster and reaction? So the AoE shields can kind of completely screw you over with Narcisse, but at that point, just don't fight Narcisse with this team. She is in bolster. Two reaction pieces, solid HP at 117k, 4.4k defense, and then 263 speed. She's fully booked, 6-star polymorph, and then going down into timely intervention. Having polymorph on both of these champions really helps with not getting screwed over by somebody who's faster than you. Now, champions are going to be running pinpoint anymore, so at some point I'm probably going to have to change her to a different mastery. If I had to guess, it'll be Life Harvest. But I do think I should just leave her on polymorph at the moment until we start seeing more and more and more pinpoint gear out there, because right now not that many people have that good amount of good pieces. Then we have UDK. UDK is just basic, simple. I don't think I have his mastery still. Yep, I told you guys I'd do that a bunch of times. Still haven't done it, but it is what it is. You just have him super slow, some resistance, high HP, high defense, and 6-piece at least Stone Skin. And then we have Queen Eva, who is also in Stone Skin. And in Savage, same principle with Wukong, except she doesn't have a reviving passive, so you just have to try to guarantee her a turn with this Stone Skin. You could even put Lightning Cage on her just to help make sure that the Stone Skin doesn't get taken off, because she really, really needs it. So that is something to keep in mind. These are her masteries right now. I don't even have them maxed out. I do think Spirit Haste is a good option to synergize with Wukong dying. And then Wukong has Spirit Haste because a lot of times it'll just be him and UDK in LiveArena, and you need him to take a turn as soon as possible. And then, yeah, and on Queen Eva, you probably just go Spirit Haste and then Methodical, or I guess I could even see Stoked Fury, but eh, it doesn't really matter all that much. And then finally, the last team, we have Arbiter, just very, very fast and some protection. We want to make sure that Rhodos isn't losing his increased attack, because it's very important for him to keep that on for at least the first turn. She isn't really fully booked, but the two skills that do matter are booked. One's their Intimidating Presence, and these are her masteries. I could see you going down and picking up Cycle of Magic if you wanted, getting the Retribution because you run Evil Eye, whatever it may be. That's just what I have. Then we have my Armands. Do I not have my second Armands right here? No, I don't. There he is. So second Armands is in Stone Skin. So he's in 3 pieces of protection, Oh, wait, okay. Actually, I need to fix that. Oh my gosh. So he isn't in Stone Skin. Let me go ahead and throw him in that. That's what was wrong. I was wondering what was wrong with his build. He needs some Stone Skin. What do we have going on? Yeah, that one's pretty solid. We'll see if I can glyph this at all. Okay, there we go. So he's in Stone Skin and 3-piece protection with a perception set. We're just shooting for some speed, some accuracy, because my main Armands has the much better gear. Not to say that his gear is bad, it's just not on the same level. I don't have him quite booked yet, but he still does what he needs to do. Armands generally doesn't need books besides his A3 to be oppressive. And then he doesn't have masteries yet, just haven't had the energy to go ahead and get those maxed out. Same with my Ramontu, but it is what it is. These are all work in progress teams and things that I'm working on over time. So let's go ahead and go back to the builds here. We then have my Ramontu. My Ramontu is going to be helping with any champions or teams that are trying to cut in on my Arbiter. So if Arbiter takes a turn and then Ramontu or Armands, or both of them are able to get a turn, Ramontu actually has a much higher chance in this build of getting a turn than really any other build, because he's in 4-piece Supersonic with one. The one reaction doesn't help, but the 4-piece Supersonic helps, because every time the enemy team gets a buff, he's filling his turn meter by 2%, and that could end up being a lot of turn meter, especially when you're fighting somebody like a Siphi. So I have my Ramontu at 324 speed with 514 accuracy. He is fully booked with 1-star Polymorph, and then I will be running him down into Eagle Eye, Master Hexer, and I could see an argument for Cycle of Revenge to help with cutting in. Spirit Haste, maybe Sniper, something, whatever it is. You could throw basically any of those on him. I just would say Master Hexer and Eagle Eye need to go on him for this team to work well together. And then Rhodos. Rhodos is built extremely well. He is in Instinct, Righteous, and 2-piece Merciless with the reaction piece. He's at 47k HP, 6k attack, 3k, well, 3.3k defense, 300 speed, 100% crit rate, 288 crit damage, fully booked, 3-star Word of the Fallen, going down into Helm Smasher and Retribution. This is going to work well with everybody else just because he's fast, making sure that everybody's getting as many turns as possible, not allowing for the other team to take any turns. So yeah, guys, let's go ahead and find a good team to fight with these teams, just so I can show how well they synergize and why they work so well together. Preferably a solid set of teams, not a really weak set. I mean, this first set is probably where we'll go if there's nothing better This one has Basilius, so I don't really want to go to it. Some of those champions just don't feel that strong sometimes. Okay, this one's actually a very strong set of teams here. Let's see what we can do. So I'm going to take my Narcisse team straight into this one because they're all pretty tanky in Stone Skin and very fast. So he'll probably take a turn to let Armand, and then it won't matter. And then we generally don't like taking a Wukong into a Murtu just because he has that Chase of Block Revive. So we'll go ahead and put him up here and then put this team here, and let's give this a go. All right. Duchess giving us those shields, giving us the increased attack. They try to go ahead and block our skills, but we don't let them. We can go ahead and block revive that Tormund there. See if we can steal anything. Our accuracy is kind of low on Wukong right now, sadly, because we put him in that stone skin gear, and that's the. Well, actually, I guess it kind of worked out. See if we can. All right, Galathier is a very, very strong champion that kind of just screws you over. Oh my gosh, this is rough. Yeah, Galathier did. What a champ. Let's see if we can go ahead and get ourselves our block debuffs, our increased attack. He switches back to his other form. At this point, we should be fine to just go ahead and break through the Galathier, try to knock him over. Just a very strong team, extremely tanky. We have increased attack. I want to see if we can get rid of Mithrala. Wukong can then dang, okay. Yeah, Wukong isn't smacking because of the Ursuga. Her passive is so strong. There we go. Got rid of both of them. And now we're on to this next team. He does have that on the Murtu. We'll see if we can... Alright. Didn't get lucky. Steal the turn meter off of nobody. Holy crap, we need to get masteries on him. That is awful. And then reaction. I mean, I don't even know what to say with all that. That's just rough. We'll attack him, just knock it back his turn meter, steal some HP off of him. And at this point, it's up to can we solo their team, even with the Candrafon popping off. So we take out Duchess. Alright, we do get an extra turn. Go to A. Oh, okay. Go to A1 and hope for an extra turn again. Alright, wait. Holy crap. Alright, well, Broto soloed. Like I said, he has that solo potential. What an insane champ. And with all that speed, it allowed him to get that one turn that he didn't get off of his extra ones. And then we should... Dang, this guy's a lot of good reaction gear. Then we go ahead and knock out this team. Not the fastest clear, but you can see kind of how they work well together. That last team is just so strong. Like you rarely struggle with that. Is there anything else? So this first team, we got Lazarius. I can see this one. Oh, we don't have a refill. Man, that sucks. Sure, why not? For the video, we'll let this go on for just a little bit longer, and I need to do this anyways so I can get the energy later. Let's refresh. Okay, this one looks strong. I like this setup here. So I'm going to take the Armands and Paddy team into their Armands and Galathier team. I then want to take our Rhodos into the Taras and then Wukong into Cupidus. I do like that. some strong teams, but I don't think they do too well against ours, except this one, depending on how fast they are. We are faster, so we should. And that's another thing about Padraig is how strong his turn meter boost is, because he's also giving the increased speed and buffing everybody beforehand. It's so insanely strong. It allows for you to like basically never get cut in on if you're using Padraig and you're anywhere near the same speed on your two champs. Let's go ahead, do that, take him out. Now this Wukong is going to be gone as soon as Narcisse can get a turn. There we go. Now the second team, all we gotta do is get rid of Cupidus, then their team is basically useless. I wonder if we can go ahead, yeah. Queen Eva's so strong, guys, holy crap. Wukong then steals somebody's stone skin. I think it was Venus's. Knock, holy crap. Yeah, we knock them out. Queen Eva can then go ahead and use that same ability once again. She doesn't have increased attack this time, but we can block revive. We are getting resisted a lot. I guess I gotta up my Wukong's accuracy again. Hit this ability, and we are through. And then this team, a pretty strong team. If we can't get a strip off, this could be rough. We get a strip off. We don't get a sync. Yeah, okay, we got to get those masteries. Holy crap, we don't have an option. This Taras is just gonna blow us up. Yeah, so you guys can definitely see the power of masteries on these champions. This is awful. Alright, yeah. So we get beat there. I feel like we could have won that if I would have swapped the order maybe, but I can't say much. Alright, one last fight since I bought that. A refresh. Yeah, let's go against this one. Very strong teams here. Let's go here. Let's go like this. That is an insanely fast Yumiko, actually. Alright, let's go ahead and get rid of him. Don't let him take a turn. And we've really got to not let this Yumiko take a turn. She's gone. We can ally attack into the Roto, see if we can get him below his passive. No, okay. Alright, now he's below his passive. Cool. AoE once again. The passive didn't matter. We already had his AoE back. We do land on them, so we should land with our Armands. And then to go Kaimur. Vitality Plunder gets screwed over. See if we can get, yep, solid. There we go. I mean, these teams, any of these champions could be strong on their own, but once you put them into a team that really focuses on the strengths of one or two champions, like this team, for example, holy crap, that Cupidus is strong. He's never going to die with his current protection setup here. That was pretty nutty. He about just instant killed the I mean, you can look at our UDK, he's about dead. That's just from what, 2-3 hits? There we go. Almost got rid of the team. That was a very strong team, actually. But you can see how we were able to break through that. Since there was no UDK, it didn't really matter because my Wukong will just absolutely rip through their team. I could have used, I don't know why I didn't use the A2 there. We'll just let it go on auto. So yeah, guys, that will be the end of this video. I really appreciate y'all watching. If you did enjoy this video, if you did learn anything from this video, I would really appreciate if y'all hit that like button, the subscribe button. If you would like any account help, because that's usually what I specialize in, feel free to join my Discord through the link in the description. You can find me there for account help. You can also just find an amazing community of people who are more than happy to answer any of your questions about Raid or Watcher of Realms. We do have a section there for that. However, Raid is more what I focus on. But besides that, guys, I really, really appreciate you for watching. I'll see you on the next one. Peace out.